Hey, scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a 9x12 pocket page video. This is actually the first of two for a spread. I was finding that when I approached my pocket page plus 9x12 spreads, so the pages, or the spreads where I had a companion 9x12 and a companion pocket page, if I was approaching them at the same time, I was sort of cutting corners and trying to be fast. So I decided instead of doing that, I would approach them separately. And I actually ended up doing this page and its companion page on 2 different days. So it worked out really well because I really felt like I did better work for dividing them up. So I did better work on both of these pages than I would have if I had done them together. So I'm using the Simple Stories Happy Trails collection, which is just absolutely perfect for the summer that I've had. I feel like I'm going to overuse this collection because really, how often do you get collections that are so outdoorsy without being too camping focused, which we don't camp? So I'm just going to use the heck out of this collection, and there happen to be fishing papers and cards, as well as the fact that we actually went fishing, which we don't normally do, but we went fishing for the 4th of July this year, so that's what these photos are from. So I'm creating a pocket page using the more fishing heavy elements. So you can see that I am cutting up 12x12 papers to create backgrounds for all of these cards or all these photos. Obviously my pocket pages are always very photo heavy. I am way more about the photos than I am about things like white space or creating places for cards and journaling. So my pocket pages are always really photo heavy, but I do like to make my photos just slightly smaller than 3x4 so that I can add in some color throughout the layout and really make everything dynamic and interesting rather than just being full pocket 3x4 and 4x6s. I do that as well, but when I'm really feeling creative, this is the way that I like to do it. So I end up stamping because I really wanted to use the stamps, and it doesn't end up looking the way that I wanted it to. The stamping works fine, but especially this Let's Go, you can't really see it too well. So I end up stamping on my photos and then covering them up. So you can see me stamp, but like I said, it just doesn't make the kind of impact that I wanted it to make. So I'm going to end up covering both of these stamps up. See, I mean, you can see it and it worked fine and all that, but it just wasn't what I was wanting, I think. So I'm going to start distributing die cuts. So I've pulled out all of the die cuts in advance that I might want to use. So there's nothing here on the side that I'm going to be like, no, that doesn't even make sense. I've pulled out all of the fishing sort of related things in advance, and I'm just kind of auditioning them all over the page. And I decide that since this is going to have a companion 9x12 page, and I really have a lot of photos on this side, that I'm going to put my journaling on the 9x12 page rather than on the pocket page, so I don't need to leave any room for journaling. So I'm just kind of decorating, and this whole page took me about a half an hour maybe. So it came together really easily, which always happens when I use the Simple Stories collections, because you just have so many great icons and so many beautiful things to work with that it's not hard to finish a page real fast. I love the way that those fish are framing my feet in that bottom card. I sort of made it its own little title card, even though it's a photo, which is kind of fun for me. But I did not design this collection. This is not one of mine, and I love it. I always love when our other designer, we actually have 2 other designers. One designs stuff like this that looks more like, you know, what I design with her own little flair. And then we have another designer that does the vintage stuff. But I always love the other designers' work as well. I love it. I enjoy using everybody's work, not just my own. So I'm pulling off stickers off the sticker sheet, because what I always find I end up doing is I have all of these die cuts pulled out and ready to go because I can sit them right on top of my photo and they don't stick, so I can move them around, so it's super easy for me to pre-plan with the die cuts. But then the stickers always become an afterthought because I can't do that. So I decided to pull out the stickers in advance so that I would have them ready to put on these pages. And right now I'm fussing with my tape runner, so sorry about that. But I pulled them out so that I would have them on the side there, and I kind of know in advance that I have those available to me so that I won't forget them. And I end up using most of them, or no, I think I only end up using the word strips on this side. I tried so hard to fit in that fishing pole because, of course, and how often do we go fishing that I'm going to be able to use a fishing pole again? But the fishing pole and the fish don't end up fitting on this spread, but the fish ends up going on the 9x12 spread, so there's that. I have this chipboard tree, which kind of gives me a little bit of grief because I can't layer over the top of it because it's chipboard. So there's that. I should have used a sticker one, but I wasn't thinking clearly. I put this Get Real here, but I don't like the way that looks. It ends up being a really weird sort of border on that photo, so I'm going to move it in a second. I like the way that this fish sort of spanned the whole 3x4. It's actually 4-inch tall, 4-inch vertical card here, so that was fun. It's a nice little border, and I'm going to put this Get Real over here. Makes more sense over here. There we go. Now I have this photo of Finn and I cheesing for the camera. Finn didn't do a lot of fishing. He just kind of wandered around. We didn't catch anything, so we had these grand plans to get out there early and go fishing, but we were just moving like molasses that day, so we didn't actually get out there until noon, and of course at noon no fish are biting, so we just kind of threw our poles in the water, and we got a few nibbles but nothing caught, which is fine. It was a beautiful day, beautiful outside, and we got to play in the water and go into the mountains a little bit, but Finn was in no danger of scaring off fish because there were no fish, so he just wandered around. Last thing I want to do, well, almost last thing I want to do is scatter some mosquitoes around. First of all, visually, they kind of look like starbursts, so it kind of works in that vein for me, but also, oh, the bugs. There were so many bugs. Bugs everywhere, so the mosquitoes make perfect sense. So I'm scattering some mosquitoes around like I would stars, and it's funny. And then I have some of these fishing lures too. I'm kind of just trying to use up, between this and the 9x12, I'm just kind of trying to use up the fishing related things because I know that there's not going to be another fishing spread for a long time. It's just not something that we do. We don't like to, I don't like to just go fishing because I find it boring, and Patrick doesn't go out fishing. It's not his thing, even though he really wants it to be his thing. It's not. So I'm just trying to use up the fishing stuff. Adding in the place that we were at, and it took up less room than I thought it was going to, so I'm moving over this mosquito, and I'm going to call this, I think, done. Yeah, maybe add, oh yeah, I'm going to add some flowers, and then I'm going to call it done. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. And if you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I've got my scrapbooking stuff over there, plus all of our Tennessee adventures and some other fun things. And the companion page to this will be up next. All right, thank you.